But Nessiganus Walker, like I said, has whipped in a couple of really good balls in the box. Can he do it again? Back post, great ball. Ooh, punched away by the keeper. Oh, Woodyard! Yes! Come on! Headed away, not fully away. Woodyard gets the volley in. It looked to me like it partially deflected, but it didn't take enough fizz out of the ball. And the keeper just rooted to the spot there. Didn't know where to go. Alex Woodyard running to the fans on the side. Screaming, man. Alex Woodyard, say what you want about him as a captain, but Alex Woodyard, one of those players who also plays with a lot of fight, grit, and determination. Can't celebrate too early, though, as we do have a bit of a tendency to not to drop off right away, not to get content per se, but as the game draws on, you know, a little bit of shakiness in the mental fortitude aspect of things, and you know, a couple of mistakes here and there, a couple of times switching off defensively. So, oh, ball's bouncing around a little bit. Asa, good save, Zanev. AFC Wimbledon just couldn't clear their lines. They were scrambling for a second there. I want to see what happened because Coventry played someone on the hold-up. It bounced off Rodoni. Rodoni tried to get back, though, and he like fell on the ball trying to draw the foul. And then he poked it, actually, which prevented Kalambai from getting a good clearance off it. Like Kalambai just kind of went like, whoa, ball's coming at me. And then it went straight to the feet of Asa. That clearance was like only like 7 yards. And Asa got a shot off far post. Good save from Zanev to palm it out. But yeah, Jack Rodoni there really making a mess of things. It's a decent ball headed away by Hennigan. Lewington now he's going to put it back post. Who's there? One of the goals of the season. Absolutely one of the best goals I've seen in a while. Lewington whips it in. Nobody's back post. I don't know where our outside back was. We tried to push up, but we pushed up too much. Where's Henry Lawrence there? All of a sudden, you see Parrott back post, and he just fucking drives it with the laces. He actually hits it with, like, the outside of his boot. Like, kind of like a Kadeshma kick, sort of. And it just bounces off the underside of the crossbar. If someone has enough time to take a touchdown or to volley it, that's your fault, 100%. 100%, no excuses. Cosgrove going to win the header here. Perhaps a last opportunity here for AFC Wimbledon. Cosgrove's going to hold it up. Come on, Cosgrove. Plays Chislett, square. Ball to the box. Cleared away, not fully away. Come on, what can you do, Cosgrove? What can you do? What? What? Full time? Why? Dude! It was a 3v3 and Cosgrove had like 5 yards of space ahead of him and he could have laid it off to McCormick. McCormick was in on goal, dude, if he could have played him. I don't believe that. Yeah, Rodoni, Nesta, and Cosgrove immediately after the whistle was blown, they swarmed the referee. The referee, as soon as the center back cleared it, not fully away, it was a very poor clearance. It was went straight to the feet of Cosgrove. As soon as he saw that, he blew the whistle without even seeing who was to his side. And he blew it. He's like, oh shit, my bad. My bad. Fuck. There's no way. That dude. That is certainly controversial right there. Great game. Great game. AFC Wimbledon played a fantastic game. I'm not trying to be biased here, as we had maybe 1 or 2 moments where we switched off, notably the goal, and it was enough for MK to get a goal back. And then after that, you know, AFC Wimbledon had good defensive shape throughout the game, but in the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, they started to look a little bit shaky. Looked shaky in possession. Like, for example, Ethan Chislett, when he came on, he was a good influence for the first 5 or 10 minutes. But then, you know, looked a little bit shaky in possession. Yeah, they started to look a little bit shaky after the goal, AFC Wimbledon. Jack Rodoni, notably. Before the goal, Jack Rodoni kind of made a couple of poor decisions defensively. Like, for example, the center back, Darling, he was taking a couple touches forward, and Jack Rodoni was kind of standing to the side, trying to predict that the pass would be switched over, and he would try to cut it out instead of getting goal side. And then, you know, Darling took a heavy touch. He tried to sprint over and drew the foul. and it was a free kick for MK. That was kind of the start of everything, 70th minute or so. MK starting to put more and more pressure, put a couple of through balls into the box, mostly seen out by the likes of Hennigan and Nightingale ever since Asa came on as a substitute, as a striker. First few times he tried to get in behind with pace, and we saw it out. Nightingale was able to see him out on one instance. In another instance, they played a through ball over the top to Asa, but Kalambai came back really quickly, put his body in the way, drew the foul. I think Kalambai played fantastic, by the way, defensively. Everyone did defensively for the most part. But then as the game started to go on a little bit more, MK started to find their feet a little bit more. And like I said, after the goal, we were a little bit shaky in possession, giving the ball away a couple of times, trying to play, square balls, but instead it gets played like 2 or 3 yards ahead of our man, and we give away possession, yada, yada, yada. But overall, we played a very good game. I told you guys, if we were to get a point before this one, I think it would be a good result going into the next couple games against Crewe and Fleetwood. But it certainly was in the cards. The win was certainly in the cards. And I'm going to talk about the goal that we conceded in just a moment, but I'm going to start from the beginning and work my way up. And I'm going to look at my notes here. First 5 minutes of the game, Nesta Guinness-Walker immediately making an impact. I think it was one of our best players throughout the game. The last 15 minutes kind of got beat out a little bit defensively from Corbin. Ever since he came on, he was an absolute threat. He was an issue against us in the first game. But Nesta Guinness-Walker, defensively sound for the most part. I did express my 2 cents in saying that I'd rather have him playing over Osu in a big game like this, especially with really good front three in Parrott, Twine, and I thought Asa would be playing, but he wasn't. But Parrott and Twine, really good on those wide areas, can get in behind at any moment. And Nesta Guinness-Walker, very, very much improved on the defensive end in terms of defensive positioning. First half, solid throughout the game. He never got beat. He was always tracking back to block the crosses. And, really did a very good job of keeping Parrott at bay. Parrott was just nowhere to be found in that first half. Second half, he worked his way into the side. But Nesta Guinness-Walker, great work defensively, put a couple of really good balls in the box. He was actually taking the set pieces. He put a corner kick into the box this 3rd minute, back post, really good header, was headed away. He put a cross into the box from the left. He put a good ball into the box from the free kick. I'd say out of the 6 or 7 crosses he put into the box, 5 or 6 of them were put with very good pace and around the back post area. Also, Zach Robinson was fantastic, man. He's really, really shined lately. Very good in the air, winning headers, and even got the better of the physicality a couple times against Lewington. He actually won a header against Lewington in a throw-in in the first half, where Jack Rodoni just let the ball roll past him. He faked one way and went the other, and drew the foul from McKickren. And then the free kick that followed, I think, was headed away, so nothing came of that free kick. But, yeah, great work from Robinson. He won that, and he also had a moment where he had the center back Darling off of a goal kick from Zanev. Darling tried to win it over him physically, and then it was chest height, and he tried to kick it from behind Zach Robinson. Jack Robinson just chested it, and the player fell on his ass. He took a turn, took a couple touches forward, and tried to take a shot towards goal, which was just a couple yards wide. I think that was his only shot throughout the game, Zach Robinson, but he did a very good job of holding the ball up. And I really like what I saw from him. He did come off early because of a hamstring problem. He came off for Chislett, who I think wasn't really the best today, Chislett, but he did find himself with an opportunity after there was a shot. This is about the 78th minute after it was already 1-1. It was a shot towards goal by, I don't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was, I think it was McCormick actually, and it deflected off the center back, or center mid actually. And Chislett tried to nod it towards goal. He was about a yard away from the keeper on that back post. Keeper made himself big. Good save from him, to be fair. Chislett couldn't have done much there, but I think that was the only real impact that Chislett made. The goal in the 18th minute from AFC Wimbledon, it was a header, not fully away. Woodyard putting it with enough pace to make it difficult for MK Dons, and it deflected. Partial deflection took a little bit of sting off the ball, but it redirected enough to where the keeper didn't know what to do, rooted to the spot. Alex Woodyard gets on the score sheet, rare goal from him. And, after that, the first half, damn near flawless. Very good defensive shape. And we knew when to press. We didn't press blindly like we did under Mark Robinson. There were a couple challenges being made by Henry Lawrence. George Marsh was fantastic. He was good at reading when and when not to press, and he made a couple of very good challenges, got stuck in. Woodyard got stuck in a couple of challenges as well. I think we played fantastic in the first half. Second half kind of fell out a little bit. I think we did enough to win, personally. I'm not trying to say this in a biased manner. I'm trying to look at this as objectively as possible. I still think we did enough to win. But a draw is a good result. Fleetwood lost their game. In the last minute, they got a red card. They conceded a last-minute goal against Accrington. Gillingham 1-1. Morecambe lost 2-1 to Cambridge. They equalized, and then they conceded right after. So it's a good result. It's a very good result. I'm back on the positivity train, and I really do think that the Mark Bowen signing has worked wonders for us so far. And I think we're playing a lot better under Mark Bowen. Defensively, mainly, I think our shape has been a lot better, and I think we're a lot more disciplined. On the attacking side of things, I think not much has changed, aside from the fact that I think we're a little bit more positive on the ball, and we're a little bit more confident in that final third. Off-the-ball movement, by the way, was fantastic from AFC Wimbledon. Off-the-ball movement was great. Asala was good off the ball. Jack Rodoni didn't really have many opportunities to go off the ball because he was on the ball a lot. I think on the ball he was okay. But, a lot of off-the-ball movement from Zach Robinson as well. Paul Kalambayi, a couple of moments where he came up from the center-back position and we were able to cover the space. The likes of Marsh and Woodyard were able to fill that gap. And that ties into the idea that we have been defending with a lot more solidity and discipline. And I think if we keep playing the way we are playing, I think we will have enough in the tank to stay up. And that being said, I'm going to be looking at some of the Facebook comments. I haven't done that in a bit, so I'm going to be doing that here. Okay, so first of all, we got a popular figure here, Tom Davies. Thought it was a great game, to be honest, but why are our players hugging them at the end of the game? Just thank the fans and walk away. No need to talk to them. Referring to MK, obviously. Yes, I'm particular. Cosgrove, who shook nearly every scum hand. Oh my god. Okay, so that's not necessarily a comment about the game itself, but yeah, just wanted to add that in there. Lawrence Hamilton, say what you want about the result. Bowen ball is keeping us up and should have been done ages ago. A mansion in Bermuda, a Pontiac that talks, space shuttle on board jacuzzi. Whatever this man wants, fucking give it to him. I gotta say, man, who knew that signing a manager with 6 games to go would have, or 8 games to go, would have this much of an impact? I was wrong, okay? I stand corrected. I've been wrong on a few occasions. I try to put my 2 cents in and try to put my opinion in on several things. I was wrong. We should have sacked Robbo earlier. Obviously, looking back on hindsight is one thing, right? It's one thing to look back on hindsight. But, when we were 15, 16, 17 games undefeated, that was a huge red flag in itself, right? And I was saying how if we were to sack Robinson, who would we find, right? And Lee Finch on the One Without a Dream podcast really just kind of opened my eyes a little bit by saying you're never going to know who's going to sign up for the job unless you actually sack, right? And that was the case under Wally Downs, right? Neil Ardley, fantastic manager throughout his tenure, but started to fall out a little bit, started to become a little stubborn, and we picked up Wally Downs. He kept us up, right? I was wrong. I did end up turning towards the Robbo out train a little bit too late, though. It was after the Cambridge game. That's where I'm like, okay, no, fuck it, Robbo out. That's it, Robbo out. But fantastic. I think the Bowen signing has been fantastic. A few people have doubted him. Most people were excited. A couple of people doubted him. They were like, okay, he doesn't really have too much first-team experience. He's been an assistant manager under Mark Hughes for how long now? But he's only ever managed Reading. But you got to keep in mind, he actually took Reading from the relegation zone, got him out of the relegation zone. So he knows how to get a team out of the shit. This is an interesting take. Okay. David Walte. Sitting back on a 1-0 lead again, always going to be punished. Before I look at the comments, I'm going to say this. Yes, we sat back on a 1-0 lead. But the thing is, goals don't come often for us, right? We don't have a tried and true goal scorer, although I think Zach Robinson is starting to work his way into the side. Not a prolific goal scorer by any means, but he is one to create chances and to create chances for others. But we don't get goals often, right? And against a team like MK, we defended well in the first half. And against a team like MK, who are so strong, at any moment they could just attack it and just you know, we kind of have to, right? I mean, we weren't sitting back the whole time per se. We weren't parking the bus, but we were sitting back, right? We had a very low line, and I think, it wasn't the right move to continue to try to attack and to try to get a second goal. I think sitting back was the right option. I just think in the end we switched off, right? We've got to learn to score and keep scoring. Still in with a chance of staying up, but don't hold your breath. Oh, well, this is during the game. Ian Pollock. Any team that relies on Cosgrove is doomed. It will always be like playing with 10 men. Lawrence Hamilton. I don't know what game you were watching. We were still very much in the fight. Yeah, we were sitting back, but we weren't parking the bus. We still, pressed when we needed to press. We still dispossessed MK on a couple of occasions where they took a heavy touch, and we were on the counter. We didn't take too big of an advantage on our counterattacks, but we were still very much in it. If we can walk all over them like that for 80 minutes, Accrington and Fleetwood will be child's play, and Wickham will at least be plausible. Paul Dunn. How often do we get to sit back in a lead? Thought we played well, and a few weeks ago they'd have slaughtered us. Shame we couldn't hold out, but funny old game. Nathan Andrews. We weren't sitting back. They keep the ball for fun. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, MK were just possessing just for the sake of possessing in that first half. Second half, they started to be a little bit more confident on the ball, but you can't really do much against a team that possesses like that. If we high press a team like that, they're going to punish us 100%. They're going to play rings around us. So I think we did enough. We just switched off. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this game. I mean, very, very positive result, right? Well, not very, considering that we gave away a goal towards the end. I switched off. But considering the stakes, considering we're second in the league, and that people were talking, even AFC Wimbledon fans were very apprehensive about it. They're like, oh, we're going to get steamrolled, right? And MK were just talking mad shit. They're like, can't wait to relegate you this weekend, stuff like that. Decent result. Could have been a win. I think we just did barely enough to deserve a win. But it was enough. It was enough. And it's a decent result, especially considering Fleetwood and Morecambe, respectively, both lost their games. Morecambe have a tough schedule ahead of them. Like I said, they have their last 4 games. Charlton, Portsmouth, MK, and Sunderland. And we have Crewe, Fleetwood, and then our last 2 games. I think Accrington's our last one. I don't remember the other game. But we definitely have a better schedule than Morecambe, and we will play against Fleetwood. If we win against Crewe and we get a draw against Fleetwood, I think we stay up. A win against Fleetwood would certainly, a win against Crewe and Fleetwood would keep us up 100%, no doubt in my mind. Let's get after it, boys. See you guys on the next one. Stay awesome. Peace.